All right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I will never tell you again. Call to order the regular board meeting for Pleasantdale School District 107 Board of Education at 6 p.m. on October 15, 2025. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Bracco?
Here.
Mrs. Lorenzen?
Here.
Mr. Nash?
Here.
Mrs. Walters?
Here.
Mr. Zona?
Here.
Mr. Mason?
Here.
Mrs. Marchione?
Here. Yeah. My eyes were all right.
All right. Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight we have a very special group leading the Pledge of Allegiance. Pleasantdale's first competitive cheerleading team, which debuted in the spring of 2025, got to make their entrance. Yeah. Competing in 2 Illinois Cheer Association competitions. This current fall season, the girls competed in the Cheer Rodeo and placed 3rd, and again placed 2nd in the Cosmic Cheer competition in the small recreation 4th grade division. Their next competition is Sunday, October 19th at Cheer Pink. The team is comprised of 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade athletes. Last week, they performed the 8th grade girls Pink Out game, which we posted to our Facebook page. And in December, they'll be performing at the boys basketball game. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Tomei for introductions and a little more information.
So we are so excited to introduce the Pleasantdale Elementary cheerleaders. Thank you to Brittany for organizing the group and bringing this to our school community. We also have 2 junior coaches who happen to be Pleasantdale alums. So thank you to Bella and Olivia for helping out with the team. And our team, our squad consists of Carmela. You guys can just wave when I call your name out. Gabriella, Mira, Maria, Alyssa, Madison, Elena, Dee Dee, Kennedy, Emma, Eliana, Isabella, and Caroline. So we are so excited to have all of them here. And they are headed over to practice after this, right? All right. So girls, would you like to lead us in the pledge? Okay, so please stand. All right, 1, 2, 3.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice job. You get a quick pyramid? No, I'm kidding.
They would in a heartbeat.
What did you say? Stunts?
Just one stunt.
One stunt. Cartwheel.
Yeah.
Thank you, girls.
All right.
Great
Thank
job.
you so much.
Thank you guys. Fun practice. Thank you. Congratulations. I got it.
Oh, perfect.
Can you get a picture of the
Yeah, it's okay.
Next, we're going to move into brag boards.
Yeah, as part of our 7th grade ELA class, kids wrote narrative pieces, and then we also have some poetry. These pieces are amazing stories that showcase our students' use of descriptive language and their ability to create drama within their writing. Thanks to our 7th grade ELA teachers for highlighting some of their students' best work. And we have some great narratives, some great poetry, and then some additional pieces that we just didn't have room for on the board. So if you want to take a look at those, something a little different than what we've done in the past, which is fun. You did a really nice job. This one of When I Was 5 is really cute. It's really cute stories that those kids get together. Oh, stop. We're super nice.
Next, we're going to move into item 3, district announcement. I will turn this over to Dr. Pleasant to share exciting district news.
Right, I am so proud and excited to announce the middle school has been awarded the blue ribbon in the area of social. This award is a culmination of 3 years of hard work by students, staff, and administration at the middle school. We're so proud of their efforts and look forward to celebrating this honor with our school and community. I will also take this opportunity to remind the community that they can review our school's data by accessing the Illinois School Report Card, which will be available at the end of the month. We are required to make that announcement that there is a school report card. We have a link to our website, has all of our school's data. So proud of middle school, just great work by our team over there, and really look forward to this will be a victory lap year rather, just really celebrating the great work that they've done. So congratulations to Janine, Maura, her team, and everybody at the middle school. Well done. Good.
Like it should be like more like so.
And get the cheerleaders back.
All right, item 4. Next we'll move into the public budget hearing. I declare the. Oh, yes, you did put the budget. E-learning hearing. I declare the hearing open at 6:05 p.m. and I'll turn it over to Dave.
Okay, great. So state statute requires school districts that want to use e-learning days in lieu of student attendance days, they must hold a public hearing that outlines the program and ensures that the program meets the state's requirements. Tonight, I'll run the board through our e-learning plan, and after the hearing, I'll submit the requisite paperwork to West 40 Intermediate Service Center, so we'll be able to use those e-learning days moving forward. So I'm just going to jump up to the point of a real short presentation that I'll do with you guys. Walk everyone through. So again, e-learning is not new. We've been doing it for the last several years, and really became more common during COVID. Just so you know, our goal here is not is to have the e-learning plan and the e-learning days available to us, but not necessarily use them. Our goal would be to not have any snow days, not have any e-learning days. However, we want to have all of the options available to us, right? Whether that's a snow day, whether it's a day at the end of the school year that we're making up, or using e-learning days. In all fairness and in full disclosure, I really do feel like e-learning days are more valuable learning days than adding a day at the end of the year. I also think that adding a day at the end of the year, depending on how many, like if we were to end on a Friday, having an additional day on a Monday, not great for families, not great for staff. If we end up using multiple days, going like a Wednesday, Thursday, and then into the following week, not always great for students and staff. So those are some of the things that we consider when we're talking about e-learning. So again, just to kind of, some of this is going to seem very familiar. You guys have had kids that have gone through, you've had e-learning days at home. Again, our goal is to use e-learning days more as a last resort than as a first resort. But again, at both schools, we have modified schedules where kids are doing synchronous learning, so they're interacting with the teacher through the glass in the morning, and then asynchronous, where the teachers are giving assignments and making themselves available for help in the afternoon. Each lesson or class period should contain about 15 to 20 minutes of like face-to-face instruction, and then the rest of the time is can be independent work. Students follow the expectations that we've set out for them, and I'll get to those in just a second. And that we want all of our teachers to post their agendas and their work to our learning management system, whether that's Seesaw at the elementary school or Schoology at the middle school. E-learning plans by grade band. So what I believe this was put together by our curriculum council and Dr. Van. Put together kind of what the expectations are and what families can expect at each at these 3 grade, I think there are 3, maybe 4 grade level bands. So 5, 8 for some of our older students. They're going to have each class each day. So they're going to kind of run through a regular half-day schedule. And again, synchronous in the morning, asynchronous in the afternoon. We want engagement. So each student has a synchronous learning component, whole class, small group, individual instruction, class meetings. They're going to have those daily. Our material is going to be mostly new material for our older students, and then focusing on those critical standards. Teachers are taking attendance at the end of each lesson, so each period they're taking attendance. And then students earn letter grades based on their participation in the work that they've done. And then finally, teachers do receive their planning based on our half-day planning, the planning that they would receive in a normal half-day. For our 3rd and 4th graders, pretty similar. Their focus, though, is on ELA and math. So while they may have some additional courses or they may do some social studies or something like that, really we want our focus to be on ELA and math. They do meet with their specials as well. So that PE, music, Spanish, and art do meet on those days. Again, that same synchronous and asynchronous kind of breakup between the morning and the afternoon. Mostly new material for those students as well. Teachers are taking attendance once in the morning as they begin that synchronous portion, and really the kids aren't moving from class to class or teacher to teacher, so they've got their kids for the full day. So 1 round of attendance works for those kids. Students earn letter grades on the work that they've completed and turn in through Seesaw. And then, again, same thing with the planning periods for our teachers. For our kindergarten and through second grade, again, focus on ELA and math. Subject same as far as engagement with having the synchronous and asynchronous in the afternoon. Mostly new material, focusing on critical skills standards and some review. Again, teach attendance in the morning. Students will be given feedback on the work that they submit through Seesaw, and then same plan for planning time. And then finally, our pre-K students. So looks a little bit different for our preschoolers. ELA and math daily. They also will have some fine gross motor, SEL, play skills, things like that. Those are all currently done within the classroom, so that is kind of par for the course for those teachers. Students follow directions on the choice boards. They're given choice boards and complete the activities with some teacher support. No new material, review only for our preschoolers. Completing activities on the choice board fulfills the attendance requirements. And then students receive feedback on the work they submit. And of course, our teachers are entitled to their plan time as laid out in the CBA. Some of those student expectations that I mentioned at the beginning. Again, these are kind of what you would expect. And we are so lucky and so fortunate to have kids that are great rule followers. They take the learning seriously. They do what they're supposed to do. So, but we did set out some expectations for them, so everybody kind of knows what to expect as they walk into an e-learning day. So we really ask that we have a place for learning, a quiet place that limits distraction. That doesn't mean we're laying in bed doing our e-learning, that we are hopefully at a desk or a kitchen table or something like that, and have a stable surface for our device. We want our iPad charged, ready for learning. The apps are installed. We actually do a dry run with the kids in November-ish. Our teachers will do a dry run, making sure everyone can get on Google Meets and have the apps that they need, and everybody's iPads are updated, and all of that. You're checking your school email, Schoology or Schoology, looking at Seesaw if need be. Seesaw really more for parents. Closely following the published schedule. We want students to complete the work listed in the daily agenda. Again, that's going to be posted to Seesaw or to Schoology. We want them to be on time, just like we would if they were live. We want them to show up when they're supposed to show up for each class period. They have the right attitude when they're entering the classroom. We want them to have the necessary supplies, make sure they have the right pencils and everything to make sure that they're in good shape there. And then while in class, they're keeping their video and their microphone muted unless directed by the teacher to turn those types of things on. We want them to not have other distractive technology, so cell phones put away, things like that. The yonder bags are at home, so we can consider putting phones in yonder bags. Hard to police, hard to really ensure that that's happening, but again, wanting to make sure we avoid as many distractions as possible. Any chat functions within our apps should be used only for class purposes, not necessarily to chat with friends in class. Making sure that their digital background is appropriate. Again, we did a lot of learning over COVID, so we learned that sometimes kids don't always put the most appropriate background behind them, so we want to make sure that those are appropriate. And we're not recording or screenshotting or reposting either images of our classmates or anything that may be displayed on the screen. And we're not wanting to manipulate any of the digital apps or anything like that. Reaching out to teachers if they have questions, and then obviously abiding by any academic integrity rules that we have. So that was a very quick, I forgot to go to the second one, but very quick overview of our e-learning plan. We also, at the beginning of the year, when families registered, you may remember, you clicked a box saying, yes, we have home internet. If we have any families that don't have home internet, we work with them to either secure low-cost home internet or give them a hotspot in order for them to be able to get online and access it. Any questions?
So I think this probably goes without saying, but when we have these e-learning days, the onus really becomes part of the parent to prepare the kids for the day,
Yeah.
and sometimes not even just the parent, but the sitter or whoever is home with the parents having to go to work that day. So I just want to make sure that there is a little bit of grace for, you know, the student expectations, like being on time. If, you know, the
100%.
sitter is trying to get three kids
Yeah.
online
Or
at the
moms
same
or
time.
dad are trying to get them.
Yeah, and also like with three, you know, students or more or less online at the same time, sometimes the internet does slow down,
For
or
sure.
there's like breaks in the internet, so
Yeah,
just
our
as long as
staff is
there's
great.
grace for like the families that, you know, the student is late and they're not knocked down.
Well, we also realize that power can go out, or
Yeah.
you know, there can be a whole host of problems or issues that families may have, both kind of in the household and then in the neighborhood, right? And so our staff are aware of that and really sensitive when it comes to stuff like that. And in all fairness, it isn't like one of the hardest decisions that superintendents make are to call a snow day or an e-learning day or cancel school. Like, no one wants to cancel school, but at the end of the day, if we've got to make some tough choices and e-learning is going to be the best choice for our kids and families at that point in time, that's what we'll do. But it's not necessarily our go-to, right?
Yeah.
It's always our last resort. Cool. Awesome. Just declare the e-learning closed and we're done.
Yep, okay, so I declare the e-learning hearing closed at 6:16 PM, and we'll continue with our agenda. No green forms?
No.
Okay. So we'll move on to item 6, the consent agenda, which consists of the following. 6A, approve the regular meeting minutes of the September 17, 2025 meeting. 6B, approve the closed session meeting minutes of the September 17, 2025 meeting. 6C, approve payment of the September payroll and October warrants in this month. Charles was our checker. Questions, comments, concerns?
No.
Okay, I'd love to hear it. 6D, approve section 6 board policies, and 6E, did I say, yeah, 6E, approve the superintendent's goals for the 2025-26 school year. So can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Mr. Bracco?
Yes.
Ms. Lenzen?
Yes.
Mr. Nash?
Yes.
Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Mr. Zona?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mrs. Marchion?
Yes. Okay. Next, we're gonna move into item 7, which is to approve the resolution for signing of the purchase agreement for 7510 Wolf Road. So can I get a motion to approve the resolution allowing the purchase agreement for the property located at 7510 Wolf Road, Burr Ridge, Illinois, to be signed?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bracco?
Yes.
Mrs. Lenzen?
Yes.
Mr. Nash?
Yes.
Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Mr. Zona?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mrs. Marchion?
Yes. Okay. Item 8, approve the resolution for signing of the purchase agreement for 7548 Wolf Road. So can I get a motion to approve the resolution allowing the purchase agreement for the property located at 7548 Wolf Road, Burr Ridge, Illinois, to be signed?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bracco?
Yes.
Mrs. Lenzen? Mr. Nash?
Yes.
Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Mr. Zona?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mrs. Marchion?
Yes. And then item 9, approve the resolution for signing of the purchase agreement for 8100 Willow Springs Road in Willow Springs, Illinois. So can I get a motion to approve the resolution allowing for the purchase agreement for the property located at 8100 Willow Springs Road, Willow Springs, Illinois, to be signed?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bracco?
Yes.
Mrs. Lenzen?
Yes.
Mr. Nash?
Yes.
Mrs. Walters?
Yes.
Mr. Zona?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mrs. Marchion?
Yes. Okay,
Great.
perfect.
Awesome. Thank you.
Next, we'll move into item 10, report and discussion items.
All right, so we'll start with school improvement plans. So our principals, in cooperation with their staff, have prepared plans that will help improve teaching and learning as well as the student experience at our schools. These plans include goals that are unique to each building, building students, and each building's priorities. Dr. Arundel and Mr. May are eager to show off their plans and will help continue to move our schools from great to greater, so I will turn
I'm
it
gonna take
over
the
to you.
clicker.
Oh, I'm sorry. Walked off with it.
Thank you. Hi, good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to share a brief update on Pleasantdale Elementary School Improvement Plan. Again, I've shared this before. This is just a review of our process. So as a leadership team, we look at the district strategic roadmap. Our BLT, our Building Leadership Team, identifies SIP goals. We should create some draft goals, share them with the staff, adjust the goals based on feedback, then identify the deliverables based on those goals. Again, share those out with the whole staff, adjust as necessary, and present it to you. This is a living document, so as we go through the year and more deliverables are identified, we add those in. We always create some baseline, but things happen throughout the year that take us further than we had originally planned, which is great. So, jumping into our goals, our work this year really centers on 3 key areas of the district blueprint: student success, community connection, and responsible resource management. Our first goal here is focused on student success, and we really are focused on refining our multi-tiered systems of support, or MTSS, to ensure that every student receives the academic and social emotional support they need. So to do this, we're partnering with the Illinois MTSS Network to provide staff coaching and training. We're using the SAMI assessment to identify and target building needs, and our efforts include strengthening our problem-solving process, clarifying intervention criteria, and refining data review meetings to make better use of student data. We're also enhancing communication with families through the sharing of Ames Web Plus benchmark screening, as well as Ames Web Plus progress monitoring reports, ensuring that parents understand how their child is being supported and the progress that he or she is making. By the end of this school year, we expect to see improved consistency in interventions and increased SAMI ratings, reflecting stronger MTSS implementation across the school. Our second goal focuses on community connection, and our goal here is to strengthen the bond between home, school, and community. So we're introducing student challenge opportunities based on the Let Grow model to promote independence and creativity, and launching a student leadership club for 4th graders to help them develop and enhance their leadership and service skills. We will host trimesterly, I don't know if that's a word, trimesterly, themed family.
Yes,
now. I came up with it, I was like, I think this sounds right. Trimester, it's not quarterly, it's trimesterly. Themed family nights such as reading, math, or game nights to build meaningful family engagement. And we're also partnering with the district administrators to develop a community volunteer corps to support student learning. Oops. These initiatives will help Pleasantdale continue to be a place where families feel connected, students feel empowered, and the community feels involved in our success.
I have a question. Is the
Yes.
leadership club, is that different from student council?
It is. So it is a separate club. Student council, we had such a great response to that we wanted to create more opportunities for students to take on more leadership. So some of the things, this group will be under the direction of Wendy Vidal. And she, some of the things are like partnering 4th graders with our kindergartners for assemblies, and the 4th graders will sit with the kindergartners during assemblies and help teach them this is how we behave in an assembly, or we might have them help with arrival and dismissal and kind of be safety patrol, if you will, and help supervise the students and get them to the right places with the adults.
Is that referring to homeschooled students within our district?
No, I'm sorry, like
No.
partnerships between the school, your home, and our community.
Got it, okay, got it.
On that, and I don't want to steal thunder if it's, but like, we're opening this up to 4th graders, so is this something that we would bring into the middle school so that it's not just a 1-year opportunity? You know what I mean, like this leadership concept outside of student council? Because if it's something they really enjoy, I mean, it's just a thought.
Like, I just leadership things.
Yeah, if it's something they really enjoy and like, and maybe it's an alternative to student council, like I would hate to see it being only something they can do for 1 year and then it's like, oh, it doesn't carry on. So maybe something to consider if it's not already being considered. But it sounds great, like,
Thank you.
so yeah.
Great. And then our third, oh, I'm sorry, the headings are incorrect. I apologize for that. But it's close. Responsible resource management. Our third goal focuses on improving the appearance and functionality of our facilities to create an environment that best supports learning and reflects our pride in Pleasantdale. So some of our projects include new outdoor recess options, updating our 3 staff bathrooms, converting the green rooms into office spaces with some improved acoustics and HVAC. As you know, we are at capacity and beyond in our building and seizing every opportunity to make it an office or a space where staff can work with students is what we've been focusing on. We also are expanding school branding. There's our new additions, you see those up there.
We can never change our mascot.
Yeah.
It will always be
Right.
equal.
Eddie is our mascot forever. But what my favorite thing about the front entrance now, at the beginning of the school year, some people came up to me and they said, we look like an elementary school now, not just an office building. And we are an elementary school, right? We should look like one. So I'm excited. I appreciate the support for that and the pride that it really
I know,
creates.
we're gonna go visit, I didn't know we had all this now.
Come see us.
That was awesome.
Um,
It's been 1 year out and it's only 2 months out.
I'd sign up on it.
We are also updating, continuing the flex seating upgrades. So this year will be kindergarten. We continue to enhance landscaping, and we plan to move forward with phase 2 of the gym refresh in partnership with the business department. And finally, again, as we look to find ways to address the critical shortage of space at Pleasantdale Elementary, we are looking to add a flexible storage solution to this space. You can see it right here in the bottom right of the screen, right outside the gym. So this area would be able to hold some band instruments as well as additional art storage. Currently, instruments are stored in the front hallway, which creates potential tripping hazards and risks damaging the instruments. So this enhancement will allow for better storage of those instruments and provide, again, much needed storage for our art room. By the end of the year, these projects will help create a more functional, comfortable, and inviting school environment for students and staff. So our goals this year, again, around student success, community connection, and resource management work together to ensure that Pleasantdale Elementary remains a vibrant, supportive, and high-achieving school community. Thank you for your continued partnership as we move forward with this important work. Are there any other questions?
Trimester is a word.
Thank you.
Well done.
I was hopeful. All right.
Trademark. Trademark technical.
There's my quote. All yours.
Thank you. Okay, so Kathleen always does the heavy lifting and explains the process, but we follow a similar process at the middle school as well. Over the summer, we had our building leadership team get together for a day of learning, and we really focused that around the energy bus, which we'll hear about in a minute. But that's when we did the work of looking at our goals, what do we need to improve, and what do we see the need is for. So, of course, in collaboration by looking at the strategic roadmap. Again, we formed the goals with our BLT, we brought them back to the teachers, we made any adjustments as we needed to, and then shared all of the goals with our staff. So we have 4 goals this year, and they are focused around 3 on student success and 1 on responsible resource management. Our first one, similar to Kathleen's in the elementary school, is on MTSS. It is a district-wide initiative that we are really kind of shoring up our processes. At the middle school, we're really making sure that teams understand their roles and responsibility. What do all the terms mean? In education, we use a lot of acronyms, so we want to make sure everyone's clear on those definitions. We also want to make sure that our teachers and families understand what's available to students by finalizing our intervention matrix. So what do the interventions look like at the middle school? We know it's a little bit different than elementary. So really making sure everyone has a good understanding of that, which leads to 4 and 5, which we want to make sure that we're communicating the process to our staff and to our families. So really, in the middle school, we're really looking at that Tier 1 database problem solving and what can we do at Tier 1 for all students, and then look at Tiers 2 and Tiers 3 to see what additional supports some students may need. And this is for academics and for social emotional learning and executive functioning. So that is our first goal for MTSS.
Can I,
Yep,
with the
sure.
handbook, where are we housing that?
So right now, the staff have access to the handbook. It is a living document.
Okay.
And we're kind of going through this whole year, updating all of the terms. So
Okay.
we will be sharing that out.
Okay.
But it will be housed on the district website.
Okay,
if I'm
perfect.
Not mistaken. It's a work in progress.
Yeah,
So we want to
waiting
keep
until-
adding things to it and then share it out.
Perfect.
So we have to live it for a year to
Yeah.
figure out what we missed and what we still need to add.
And so is that how we're meeting goal 5
Mhm.
with this handbook? Like, that's how we're
Yes.
communicating out the
Yes,
process? And-
but it's also those Ames Web reports that Kathleen talked
Okay.
about, any changes in tiers that we're talking about between the tier 1 or tier 2, tier 3, communicating that with families, meeting with families, calling them in and making sure they understand what's going on with their child. Anything else? Goal statement number 2, student success. Last year when we implemented WIN, we noticed that there were some areas for improvement. So we looked especially for our 7th and 8th graders, thinking they might need something a little bit different. So we researched over the summer some different resources that we could use. We found Wayfinder, which if you have a 7th or 8th grader, they're piloting this year. It is a resource that was actually built from high school down instead of the other way. Typically you'll find SEL curriculums that go from K up. This one was from high school down. And so far the feedback from our teachers has been it's really much more developmentally appropriate and more age appropriate than some of the 5th and 6th grade resources. So we're looking to really make sure we're meeting their needs at their grade level. So we have different resources that we're using. We really took a look at what we did last year and strengthened it. Especially in our tier 2 and tier 3, we now have an additional part-time social worker and our own school psych who are able to provide some interventions at the tier 2 and tier 3 level for our students. We're also taking a look to make sure that our staff really understands SEL. We were able to purchase an adult SEL book for them, for teachers, and we review it every month at our staff meetings. We do kind of a guided practice and what a lesson could look like to help them become more comfortable and familiar with the SEL practices. They went to school to be math teachers and ELA teachers and social studies and science and foreign language. So we really want to give them the support in teaching SEL lessons as well. We also made sure that each teacher on a grade level WIN team was able to meet together. Last year when we did the pilot, they did not all have a common plan time, which at the time we didn't think to look at, but that was really a game changer for us this year. When we developed the schedule, we made sure that whole grade level set of teachers who teaches WIN had the same plan time. So they can meet at least once a week to kind of go over the lessons for the next week. And then of course we're always looking for feedback from our students and from our teachers on WIN. How's it going? With the 7th and 8th grade pilot, we will definitely make sure we're getting a lot of feedback on that resource to see if that's something that we're going to use in the future. Any questions on this school?
Regarding when
Mhm.
do you foresee, like in the years to come, we continue to have it dedicated time every day? Or is there anything to talk
Typically,
about?
that's how it works in middle school, and we're looking at different opportunities for our 7th and 8th graders as well. We're gonna trial it possibly in the 3rd trimester of signing up to meet with a teacher that they need to meet with, or a teacher requesting them. So if I was struggling, we'll say in Spanish, because I speak French, I would be able, the teacher could recommend I go to her for that WIN period, or I could recommend, say, I need some extra help. So we're looking at some different options for our older students. As we know, as they go through the program, they're probably gonna get a little tired of how the structure is. And really meeting the needs of what LT has. LT has a study hall, so if we did a study skills or a study hall type once a week, how do you manage your time? How do you look at your to-do list and prioritize? So we're still looking at different options as we continue to go through this. So it's not always going to be the same. Again, it will adapt and evolve as needed. But the other benefit of having that dedicated period is that's when we pull for mostly our tier 2 and tier 3 resources for math and ELA and SEL and for English language learners. So they're not missing core instruction in a different spot. So again, anything's possible. Goal 3, responsible resource management. So like I said, we took a lot of time over the summer with our building leadership team and really focused on the energy bus. If you haven't read it, I believe it's free on Odyssey. Little cheesy, but it goes through how we bring positive energy to our work and everything we do, and it just benefits everyone. So we have been using the energy bus with our building leadership team and our in our staff meetings, really looking at those common norms. We also have some books that you can borrow too. Looking at language, we just did our first climate survey with our staff to get some baseline data. So I've already seen it, but we're going to ask our staff to kind of reflect on it, our leadership team, what stands out to you, what are our areas for improvement, because we know that the teacher shortage can be a real thing, and we really want to recruit and retain those top teachers. So we want to look at our culture and climate to see where we can improve and continue to grow. We've embedded some positive energy strategies in our daily and weekly livings at the middle school. We're doing thank you for announcements. Staff are sending home positive note cards to families. We're really trying to support our newer teachers more this year, knowing that teaching is really hard. We all know that. So we're meeting, the administrators are meeting with our new staff bi-monthly, just to give them that extra support and have those connections. We really want to recruit and retain those great teachers. Anything? Okay. And number 4, this was a new addition this year, and I'm sorry, it should state student success on the top, is anything that we spend a lot of time on, we should really have as one of our goals. And we know that continuing the great work that has been done with our staff and really continuing to have student success. Dave's famous Nudge project, it might be rebranded in a different name soon, but really looking at all the data that we have in front of us, whether that's our IAR data, our MAP data, our AIMSWAB, what story does it tell, and how can we continually improve on what we've done already. We've seen some great growth by doing this in the past. In particular with ELA and math have done a really great job of that, continuing to improve and continuing to focus on the right areas to make sure that every student is able to succeed. So really looking at that data-driven decision making, which kind of circles all the way back to our MTSS process too. So all of this we're going to do this year. It's going to be great. We're really going to make sure that we're hitting all of these goals in a very strategic manner. Again, we're going to continue aligned to the roadmap and ensure that all voices are heard along the way. And we know that it's a never-ending process. We will continue to refine and grow along with our students. So, any additional questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, team. Thank you, guys. Move on to finance, section 4 board policies. The boards, as is the board's practice, section 4 of the board policies is up for review tonight. Section 4 focuses on the financials of the district. The purpose of the review is to ensure that our current policies are aligned with the needs of our district. And all of the updates that you see in red in the board packet come directly from our press policy service. Not a ton of updates, because more just to document that we've reviewed the board policy. So, any questions on any of the policy stuff?
Did you find any
James?
typos?
He did. He found a typo and I
Just a
fixed
small
it.
one.
Just
Small.
tiny. I don't even have to look at them, I just look at them. It's all you.
Thank you, Charles.
Kidding, I do look.
Awesome. No, thank you guys. Those will be on the November agenda, the consent agenda for approval then.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you guys. Okay, superintendent evaluation tool. Each year before evaluating the superintendent's performance, the board reviews the evaluation tool to determine if changes need to be made. The evaluation tool focuses on the duties and responsibilities laid out in the job description. They include 4 areas: managing human resources, finance and facilities, communication, and the student experience. While the categories in the tool are broad and wide-reaching, it's generally because the superintendent oversees all of the departments within the district and works with our admin team to accomplish the goals. Any board-approved changes would be made and incorporated into the tool after tonight's board meeting. we would put it on the November agenda for approval, and then once approved, the board can start completing it. And if you remember our process, it's review in October, complete in November, present in December. Is generally
This is the survey month.
the way.
I mean, we have the same conversation every time, because it's like so broad, like the questions
Yeah.
are so broad and general.
Yep.
But I
Yeah.
don't think there's a way to fix it.
Yeah, it's a big job.
I mean, like, you know what I mean.
I do.
Yeah. We have the
They
same conversation
reach
every
into
year.
other departments
Yes,
and things
yes,
like that.
and we
for
always
sure.
It's a
struggle with-
cascading effect.
Thank you, thank
There
you,
you go.
yes.
There you go.
Okay.
Cool. Great. Thanks, guys.
Perfect.
That's
Fine.
fine.
Okay,
Yep.
so next is 10D, board discussion on district priorities. So over the last several months, the board has heard presentations addressing the district's key priorities, including improving safety and security, managing current and future space needs, providing a developmentally appropriate environment for our fifth graders, expanding early childhood opportunities, and improving programs at both the elementary and middle school levels. As we consider the options presented, I would like to just open up tonight for discussion on those options as well as providing the administration direction on next steps. So I can start. So first, obviously, I just want to thank Dave and the administration. You brought a lot of options to us to review and consider. We obviously love the mobile homes. So again, thank you for putting so much thought and effort into providing a wide range of options. Again, from something that not super desirable to the Cadillac, so to speak, on the other side. So there's a lot of factors for the board to consider, and I think one that we all are kind of waiting on is the LT land and seeing what happens there. But also, I think it's really important that we engage the community in this process going forward. So I'd like to hear the board's thoughts on asking Dave to develop like a community engagement plan, something that would help us gather feedback from the community, a mix of parents, staff, and community members, and then bring that back to us at the next board meeting so we can review the plan going forward. So just open it up for discussion on that, and anything else you want to discuss about.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea. I think it's always best to engage the community in big decisions like this, and so being completely transparent and open with the community and involving them in big decisions I'm making, I think is really important and something that we do well.
Maybe breaking them up into topics.
Yeah.
There's a lot here, at least two. So, and I don't know if they'd be different meetings, so to speak, or structured differently, but
Yeah, I mean that's going to be the plan for between now and next month is to figure out how to do that. And is that something we need some help with? Is that something we do independently? Things like that.
Yeah, that would be my question, just functionally, what does it look like? What does community engagement look like? I think, to Becky's point, I think it's vitally important, especially for big decisions like this, but how we execute that, I think
Yeah,
is
I mean,
important too.
there are 7,000-ish voters in the district, and so you want to try and get a cross section if you can, and get some feedback. It's a big job, in all fairness, to create a process like that, and we'd be looking at probably coming back to the board next month and looking to get some help from some outside consultants that can help that do this for their job. You know what I mean? That is their expertise. So, but again, looking at that kind of cross section, bringing people together, letting people own, really kind of dig into the problem and understand what the issues that are facing the district, and then what are the best solutions. Like, I think we all have different ideas, right? But that doesn't mean they're the right idea. The smartest person in the room is always the room, right? The group together, working together to find the best solution. And I think we'll get the right people in the room and we'll do that.
To that point, though, I mean, I think as a board, we all have different opinions about how to move forward, and as the community has different opinions, especially if you have kids in the district versus if you don't. I guess how much are we going to rely on the constituency feedback versus what we feel is best for the district? I don't have an answer. It's just something I think as a board we have to consider, right? Which is, what we view as our role as a board and what to do is right for the district versus listening, taking feedback, but how do we manage that? Doing what's right for the district versus listening to all the different opinions and trying to navigate what they mean.
I think it's like one component of the bigger, one component of all of the factors that are being considered here. Again, it's the LT land. It's like it kind of looking at these priorities and what is our top? Is it moving the fifth graders and how do we accomplish that? And so I think it's, again, it's not just the community engagement in their feedback that obviously is going to, blend into this decision heavily to an extent, but there are other factors that may take priority. If the community's saying no, but these other factors are happening, like the LT land is going residential and we're going to expect this huge influx of students, that's going to be a significant driver in our decision as well, and it may outweigh some of the other factors. So I think, long story short, is it's one of the many components I think we would consider. No to not, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. And I also think that it's kind of like a trust the process piece too, right? Get that feedback, hear the thoughts of the community. I think generally, in my experience and kind of being an education nerd and watching these processes unfold in lots of different communities, the right decision, they always come to the right decision, right? It always ends up being the right thing. And it may not necessarily be the decision that you thought it would, the direction that you thought it would go, but it does end up being the right one for the district. And so you gotta trust the process, you gotta trust your community, you gotta create a structure and a plan that is gonna bring people together and come up with the best solutions and trust that process.
So out of this, the topics here, do you want to hear our priorities, or is that going to be part of getting the community involved and finding what the community priorities are? And what overlaps? Because I'm sure
Yeah,
there's a lot of
I
overlap.
think it's really heavily focused on that kind of community feedback. Obviously we can talk about board involvement, and again, I need a little bit of time to process all of this, you know what I mean? And figure out exactly kind of the board's role, community's role, and all of that in this plan.
So these priorities were established the last time we did the community engagement. How do I phrase it? Like, how do we evaluate if since these were established, 2 years ago, how do we evaluate if these are still the community's priorities for the district?
I think that'll be part of the work that we do as a group, and new priorities may emerge, right?
Right, that's what I'm thinking, we might have some new things to add
100%.
to the table, okay.
100%.
This is like a
It might be
starting-
more, it might be, we needed, that isn't a priority for our district, but, this other thing is, right? The nice thing about these priorities is they are fairly broad, and so someone may say, the playground at the elementary school, or at the middle school is really a priority for the district, and I think that falls under safety, right?
Got it.
Like, it's a safety issue when kids are playing in a parking lot, and so they see it kind of myopically, but it really can be broadened, you know what I mean? Did I use that
I was just gonna say,
myopically? I think I used it right.
that's an optometrist word. I'm gonna look into that one.
Trimesterly?
Yeah, sure.
Trimesterly, myopically, okay.
I agree, and I'd like to kind of use this as an opportunity as not like starting over, but as a continuation of the work that we did last time when we were evaluating these goals. And I think we are doing that, like the purchase of the 8100 Willow Springs Road land is meeting one of our goals of improving safety at the elementary school. So I would like to look at it more as like not starting over, but just a continuation, maintaining what our priorities are.
You're 100% right. It's an evolution, right?
Yeah.
It's been an evolution for the last 2 years, right?
Right.
We've no one can accuse us of not of moving forward without feedback, right? Like this board has been very, very open to adjusting, coming up with new plans, working through, listening, abandoning old plans, making new ones. So again, I see it, I agree with you 100%, Becky. I think it's an evolution in a larger process. Thank you for pointing that out. Cool, so I will have some plans for you for next month. Cool, thanks guys.
Okay. When you come back in November, could we I just have some guidelines in terms of cost for
Sure.
moving forward.
Yep.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Item 11 is items for the next agenda. So we have listed facility development update, preliminary tax levy for 2025, and approved finance section 4 board
We
policies.
can also add community engagement.
And community, we'll have an update on community
Oh, thank
engagement
you.
piece. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, would that fall under like are we gonna keep facilities or?
It's not.
Oh,
Let's
facility.
keep it on there, and if we have an update, we can share it.
Okay.
We haven't heard from Griffin in a long time. I miss him.
I'll be back.
Next month?
I'll be back next
So
month.
that'll be next
Oh,
month.
that'd be
I'll be back next month.
Okay, and
This
your
is my
goal.
month off.
Have a joke from Griffin.
Okay,
Awesome.
so, we'll go into closed session for the following. The appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in an educational setting, or specific volunteers of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee, a specific individual who serves as an independent contractor in an educational setting, or a volunteer of the public body, or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity, and then student disciplinary cases.
Before we go into closed session, can we go back to the FOIA? Did we talk about those at all, or can we? The
You
FOIA
can.
request? It just seems to me to be an unusually large amount. And I know that that's an extensive, labor-intensive process that likely is taking attention away from other things. I was curious if Griffin could provide maybe a report at the next meeting as to how FOIAs are being processed, how much time we're spending, just to understand attorney fees, all those kind of things. Just, it doesn't have to be deep, highly involved, but I think we're getting more and more of these, and how they're impacting the district's work, I
How
think
much
would be
time
something
is- yeah,
we should
how
all
much
be,
time
we
is
should
it?
all
Yeah,
understand.
we'll just add it to the agenda, we'll just call it I'll come up with a fun name for it. I don't wanna call it a FOIA report, cause it's not a FOIA report, it's a report on FOIA. So let me,
On FOIA fulfillment, right?
Yeah.
Manpower.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And on that note, thank you, Griffin, for all the work you're doing
Yes.
on this.
You're
It's
welcome.
extremely labor intensive, I'm sure, and distracting and from other work I could be doing.
And not what you went to school for, right?
now he's too.
It's part of the job, so it's all right.
And then now we would do a roll.
Yeah, now you do a roll
Sorry.
call.
Okay,
Interrupt.
roll for closed session. Oh, no, thank you.
We need,
Sorry.
we need a.
I felt like I saw you out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, did I say something?
But once you
Forgot.
start that
If
speech,
that's-
Yeah,
I did
please
not
don't
want
think
to-
so. Can we get a
no,
motion
no.
to move into closed, please?
Wait, hold on,
I
I
don't
get, you need a
see
motion
anyone.
in a
We
second.
need a
Oh, we do? Oh, okay.
So
So
close.
we usually from.
Okay, so Bill's first?
Yeah.
Oh, Mary can be second? I did not know. I forgot, sorry.
Then we'll roll.
Mr. Brackup,
Yes.
What times?
Mrs. Lenzen,
Yes, sorry.
Mr. Nash,
Yes.
Mrs. Walters.
Yes.
Mr. Zona,
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Mrs. Marchion.
Yes.
Okay, so now,
Now.
I don't know, I forgot